Hey guys, Kumaforno here. Now, I have literally just finished watching the Bungie Destiny 2 livestream, the reveal. Oh my god, so many things to talk about, bloody hell. Well, let's get straight into it. I've made a few kind of notes on, well, I've made a fuck ton of notes on what I saw. Now, first off, Luke Smith is back. Now, he had a bit of a hiatus because he's been working on Destiny 2. Absolutely thrilled to see him back. He's a great person, I think, like, just generally for making the games. I just really hope this is good, frankly. Now, he said there are 3 principles they've been sticking to in their vision. They want to make a world that pulls you in, so enemies that you hate, and you love to hate them, and that you really want to just go out and fight. Friendlies that you really want to fight for, you really feel for when stuff happens. Especially with, like, the tower disappearing and stuff. Just wanting to explore every nook and cranny of the world. The second is amazing things to do. Now, this is constantly putting out content, constantly having stuff for you to go and do if you want. And it looks like they've definitely delivered if they do it right. And then, lastly, there always being someone for you to play with. Now, this is quite important, I'm pretty sure, because right now, they said 50% of people who reached the max light level didn't do a raid. 50%. What is that? Like, 50% of people who reached level 20 in year 1 didn't do a raid. That is just shocking, frankly. Like, they're really pushing it out. They tried to have this matchmaking style thing, which looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing if they do it right. Now, separated the stuff that happened into different categories. First off, we've got weapons. These are the things they've changed, and fuck me, it's changed a lot. Now, the first thing we get to see is someone using a solar auto rifle and a pulse rifle. Now, first off, elemental primaries are back in legendary form, I'm assuming. Thank God. We needed that so much. But he's also using a pulse rifle. Now, this was explained to us a bit later. The new way it works is there being a kinetic weapon, an energy weapon, and a power weapon. So your kinetic weapon could be the pulse rifle in this case, just a normal weapon. Your energy weapon's an elemental weapon, the auto rifle in this case. I'm assuming it works with, like, shotguns, snipers, that sort of thing too. And then your power weapon is your heavy. This is to give people a lot more flexibility and make the primary and special a lot more kind of fluid. I haven't really seen this in any other game. Normally you have a rifle and a pistol or some sort of thing like that. So having a shotgun and a sniper was pretty outlandish, but now that they're having 2 rifles, like, obviously not a sniper, but like a pulse rifle and an auto rifle, it's quite interesting to see. I'd love to see how it works in the real game. The power weapon's quite interesting, because that's your heavy, but it seems like they've massively broadened what you can have as a heavy. First off, we got to see what looks like some sort of fusion rifle rocket. Dubious folly. Finally, that bloody beehive of a rocket launcher is actually being used, and it was seen by 400,000 people, so they can't bloody well avoid it this time. A rocket launcher that fired a burst of 5 rockets. That's quite interesting, because we've never seen anything remotely like that. Like, we've seen fusion rifles and rocket launchers, but we've never seen the same. So, we also saw a minigun. Now, this is really interesting. It looks like this is, like, comparing to LMGs. Looks like these are the new LMGs. Because LMGs are good. Like, you look at them and you kind of feel like you've got this big gun. But it's not the same as having a massive minigun, really, is it? You just feel so powerful when you've got this massive minigun that's just destroying everything on the horizon. They also had a grenade launcher, which has been, I know it's been begged for ages in Reddit, everything. So I know personally I'm so happy to see that. Now, one minor detail that I don't think most people noticed was that they've changed the hipfire reticule for every weapon. So an auto rifle is the normal thing, just a circle with a spike coming out the top, bottom, left and right. But for the pulse rifle, it looked quite different. So I'd like to see what it looks like for every weapon. That's really it for weapons. Now, next thing is subclasses. Now, at first glance, it looks like the person we were watching had a normal Radiant subclass. Then you saw them use their super. Now, their super's called the Dawnblade. Fuck. You pretty much have a massive sword that fires effectively the ability of raise lighter at people. So you can effectively throw a raise lighter at someone. It's amazing. It was great to watch in action. Now, for hunters, they have a thing called the Arc Strider, which is pretty much the Arc Blade. It's a bit of a cop-out. This is effectively the Arc Blade, except you have a staff. It's pretty much that. Now, the Titans got a thing called the Sentinel. This is their Void subclass. You effectively become Captain America. You have a massive Void Shield. It's not massive. It's a circular Void Shield that you throw at enemies. It bounces off enemies into other enemies, and you can actually use it as a normal shield too. That is amazing. Like that is just going to be so cool to use. Now, some quite interesting things was I saw Angel of Light being used, which shows they're not getting rid of everything. It looks like the solar grenades used by the Warlock were pretty much the same, so I'm glad that they've not scrapped everything. They're taking inspiration from Destiny 1. But there's also quite a weird thing, the third ability. Well, I say third because I'm not really classing the super. But there was grenade melee and then another one. And for the Warlock, it seemed to be a rift thing you could make that either healed you or gave you... It was effectively blessings or weapons of light that you could make yourself. And it seems to have quite a slow cooldown, but it's not quite as powerful as a super. I'd quite like to see how this plays out in the actual game, because it looks really exciting, and I think the Titan gets some massive shield you can shoot through. Then moving on to the Cabal. Now, we got some really cool kind of sneak peeks at, well, the new Cabal. They got a big ship. It's effectively a massive claw game where they actually win. They placed it on the Traveller and it stuck to it like a squid. There's also a new Cabal class called the Incendior that we saw. Now, this has a very similar design to the Thermite launcher from Titanfall 2 on the Scorch Titan, where it has an arcing kind of fireball that comes at you. And I'm quite interested to see how that works. It looks like the Scions now have lasers coming from their eyes. I could have just been seeing things, but that, if implemented properly, could actually be really weird. Because it will be a kind of glass cannon sort of paper tiger sort of thing, where they're really easy to kill, but if you don't do it right, like if you don't kill them quick enough, they can deal massive amounts of damage, especially if there's a burn active, if burns even come back. We also got to see mini-bosses in the story. Now, this is quite exciting, because normally in a story mission, you run through the entire thing and then get to the end, kill a boss, and you're done. Or complete a little objective. It's quite fast. 5 minutes at most. I think the world record is 1.5 minutes or something for a fastest story. It's so easy to get them done quickly. But these actually make you stop and wait. It's not exactly a hard boss to kill. It just gives you downtime between the running and the shooting and everything. It just gives you some time where you just have a small boss battle. It's quite nice. We also got to learn a lot about Gaul. Gaul speaks English, which gives us a massive insight into him as a character. It shows he's not just a mindless brute like everyone else is from the Cabal. He's researched us. He's bothered to learn our language to threaten us. He so wants to destroy us that he's willing to put in all of this effort to do it. And we found out his rank is Dominus, which we've never seen before. Quite interesting. It looks like he kills us, frankly. We stand up next to this 3-story tall god of the Cabal Empire. And I'm assuming he's going to strip us of our armor, our weapons, and our ghost. And we'll just end up starting from scratch with nothing. Now, we found Gaul's intentions, his true his reason for this whole thing. Now, clearly it's because we've destroyed the Cabal in the solar system, but for him it's more personal. He believes the Traveller should have chosen the Cabal. He believes it's owed to him to be chosen by the light. So he is now captured and is now going to enslave the Traveller until he gets what he wants. We also got to see a massive ship with a laser that looked like it could either destroy planets or the sun. I'm not sure which. I'm hoping it's not the sun, because then we're going to die and it's going to be a shit campaign. I'm hoping it just fucks up planets, but Jesus, it was powerful. The next thing we got to have a look at was story and how generally the campaign's going to go. So the first mission starts with you fighting in the tower with the Vanguard. It's in ruins, there's Cabal everywhere. You first get to fight with Zavala, where he gives you a bubble. You get to see Ikora take down a Cabal ship with a Nova Bomb. You get to see Cade shoot Legionaries with his golden gun. Frankly, I was quite disappointed. I wanted so much more. I've been wanting to see these legendary Guardians in action for so long. And I wanted a massive battle where you just fight alongside them and it's awesome and it's something you'll remember. But instead we got 30 seconds of them where they just didn't really do anything special. And then kind of just left. Like, it was quite disappointing, frankly. Now, we've got some interesting ideas, because it looks like we might end up controlling the Vex. This is just an idea. But we go and fight the Vex. It's very centered around the Vex. So I'm thinking maybe we go and defeat a load of them and end up using them and controlling them. Now, my friend who I was watching the stream with came up with a quite cool idea that maybe the darkness and the light are two opposing forces in the universe. So maybe the darkness always fights the light, no matter who wields it. So if the Cabal now wield the light, then the darkness would surely fight against the Cabal. And we would be on the side of the darkness, which potentially means we're going to team up with the Fallen, the Hive, and the Vex. I don't know, but let's see how it goes. We got to see Big Tank. Really cool. Big Tank, literally like a normal tank, big barrel, tracks, kind of turret thing. Absolutely amazing. Bigger than Cabal tanks that destroy Cabal tanks. Like, absolutely amazing. We also got a person who, I'm not sure whether it's a name or just a thing on their jacket, but it said Trossland. And he was using a No Land Beyond that had a wrap around it like the front of the Stillpiercer does. Now this is... I'm not sure what to think about this, because he didn't look like a Guardian. He just looked like a normal person in clothing. And he had this improvised No Land Beyond. So I'm assuming this is some banished Guardian sort of thing where he's gone off alone into the wild and has survived so long, and he's going to teach us how to be like that. But it looks so awesome. And speaking of that, the European Dead Zone is finally coming. Thank fuck. For so long have I been wanting this. It's been hinted with Widow's Court and Memento. And in Memento, you get to turn around from your spawn and see massive fallen ships getting fired at by massive, powerful laser beams. Like, it looks so awesome. We never got a taste of it, but now we get it. Now we're a part of it. And we find this camp owned by a person called Hawthorne. And effectively, a few people go and take refuge there. Now, when we did first see this place, there was a black crow on a stick. And I may be thinking too far into this, but I think that is a little Easter egg, a little nod to the original story of Destiny, that was going to have the crows as this outlandish group who'd left the Traveller, left the tower because it was all evil, and you end up going and finding them and getting trained by them in order to rebel against the Speaker. I think that's just a little shout just because it's like this kind of rebel camp almost, like Hawthorne has left the tower, she's not really associated with the Speaker and stuff, so I'm hoping that's a little thing, but it could just be me overthinking it. The European Dead Zone is now our patrol area. There are going to be a load more things to do. There is lost sectors where you can effectively unlock new sectors of your patrol. There are characters, NPCs in the world to go and do missions. It's very open world, very kind of Far Cry, Ghost Recon Wildlands style. I love that, because it looks like it's going to have the content, or very similar to the content of a full game, just in the patrol area. So that's awesome. That means you've constantly got something to go do. If you're bored, just go into patrol and explore, unlock it all, love it. And it looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing if they do it right, and you actually get to play with NPCs. It's just going to be so good if it's done correctly. While I'm on this point, You no longer have to go to orbit in between activities. I know, it's amazing. You can literally open your director from your current activity. So you can go from your raid to the tower to your raid. You don't have to spend 5 minutes waiting to load in to go into the stuff. It's you're just done. You're in and out. It's so easy and I absolutely adore it. Now, there are 3 new places apart from the European Dead Zone. Titan, Nessus, and Io or Io. I'm going to call it Io because I think that's how it's pronounced. Now, Titan is where Zavala is, obviously. There is a methane ocean and a utopia that is sinking into this ocean. Now, it's absolutely amazing. There's this really complex architecture everywhere you look. It's just this absolute fountain of golden age technology that's just unexplored. And this is where Zavala has gone. He is not happy. He's lost the tower, he's disgruntled, and he is just feels lost right now. And we go there and we find him, and we need to invigorate him and get him to fight the good fight again. And I'm just looking forward to it. Now, Nessus is a Vex world, and it's really beautiful, honestly. So you've got this machinery, these blocks, these big Vex towers, comparing with this kind of autumn, like red and orange trees everywhere. It just looks amazing. It's like Venus, but better. It looks absolutely great, and this is where Cade is. It looks like he's gone off, and he's got himself into a patch of trouble. Now, Luke Smith did say he's going to go off and try and be the hero, and it will go sideways. Hopefully that doesn't mean he dies. If he does die, it gives us a good fucking reason to fight, frankly. I really hope he doesn't die. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of Jazz Transformers 1 style, ripped in half by the big guy sort of thing. If he does, I really hope he doesn't, because I love him. And then Io. This is the last place the Traveller ever touched, and it's a sacred place for Guardians, hence why Ikora has gone there. It's just such a holy place, and she's lost her light. We have completely lost the connection with the Traveller, and this is where she feels closest to the light right now. And this is where she needs to be. And this is where we find her, and this is where we go to her. Now, the campaign is called the Red War campaign. There is also a strike, which currently a lot of people are playing, called the Inverted Spire Strike. Now, this is on Nessus, so I'm assuming it's Vex and stuff. It looks like you fight some big Atheon-looking sort of guy. It's going to be awesome. Now, PvP. This was mentioned a bit. All PvP is now 4v4. There's no 6v6, no 3v3 as far as we know. It's 4v4, which is great, because 3v3 was just stupid. If you had a group of 4, one person was left out. And if you've got a group of 3, with the new matchmaking, it doesn't matter if you need to get one more. It's going to be good. Nobody gets left out anymore. There's also a new PvP game mode called Countdown. Now, this is effectively... It looks... I'm not sure how it works, but it looked like there was this massive tower, similar to the towers you get at the start of Wrath the Machine, that I'm assuming you have to do something with. Like, I don't fully know. A lot of people are playing that right now where the Twitch stream was happening. That's all we really got for PvP. And the last thing is clans. Now, clans are going to become an integral part of Destiny. They're going to be supported in-game, they're going to be part of the in-game roster, and have a custom banner and clan rewards for participation. This is awesome. This means, like, there's clan progression and rewards. So if you play, say you do 5 raids in a week, and then your friend does strikes, all of that adds up to your clan, and people get rewards in the clan from how much your clan has done as a whole. And that could seriously put you apart from other people at the beginning. Say you did everything you could possibly do in the first week. You can... Say it's materials you get. Say you get 20 strange coins. That lets you buy something from Xur that puts you above everybody. That's just so awesome to have. And this is how the matchmaking works. The matchmaking includes clans. So clans, say there's 2 people and you need 3 people for an activity. They will go in and they'll start looking. And they effectively make themselves available like an ad on Craigslist. Like, solo players will then be able to come in and browse through all of the clans. They can see their banner, their title, and their motto, and they can choose who they want to go with, and they can just choose a clan. And then you go into that activity as a group, and that's awesome, because this works for nightfalls, trials, raids. It's gonna be great. And I'm really hoping it opens a whole new world for a lot of people, because people who are solo players can now meet these people that they wouldn't have met otherwise. They can meet a group of 5 who have now got a 6th, or they can meet a massive clan and just have a load of new people to work with and talk to, and that could just be absolutely great. That's really it. The one last thing is, in the social space on the European Dead Zone, you can play football. Now, for Americans, that's soccer. You can effectively kick a white and black ball into a goal. You can genuinely play football. Like, there are banners, it looks like there's probably going to be a score and everything. It's going to be awesome. Oh my god, I'm so hyped. Honestly, I'm just so excited for this. I really want it to go well. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed. Please leave a comment telling me what you think. I really want to have a discussion about this whole thing. So please, leave something. Feel free to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content in the future. I'm definitely going to be playing the beta for pre-order, so I'll definitely be putting out content then. I'll be giving gameplay and stuff. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.